What's up everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we're gonna be talking about Navia. Straight out, I'm telling you guys, we're talking about Navia, and if you guys can't bear bad news, click away. But I assure you, if you watch until the end of this video, there is a happy ending. I promise, there is a happy ending, but it's gonna take a while for us to get there. First and foremost, name's Walrus, first time here, consider leaving a like and subscribing if you enjoy Genshin Impact discussion content, and if you direct yourselves down to the pinned comment, you'll see a link. It's for supporting the channel. If you're a long-time viewer, click the link and support me as a content creator. So without further ado, let's just get straight to the content. Navia. What's up with Navia? For people who are new to the game, you might not know this, or you might not care actually whether or not Geo is a good element or not. In fact, you likely don't even know what the hell a Geo character is, because nowadays getting a new Geo character is borderline on par with seeing a freaking unicorn. They don't come around very often, if any time at all. If Navia doesn't really pan out, then you're looking at probably another year, give or take, before another Geo character swings around. So again, I'm asking you guys right now, how important is Navia in Fontaine? Very important. She shoulders the burden of a Geo character turnaround. She has the potential to make Geo feel like an element that's more than just mono teams. So let's talk about Navia's pros. I think Navia's pros is pretty obvious. Her outwards appearance, along with her unique combat style. I think it's pretty neat, honestly, looking at her combat style, having her gunbrella and playing around this burst type playstyle with a semi off-field DPS. I think she's gonna fit in very well. But what's the unfortunate thing about this character? It's that, while yes, her elemental skill does seem like she pulls in the crystallized shield, which is huge. You guys don't seem to talk about this enough. It's incredible how Navia can pull in those shields, meaning that you don't have to waste time, precious DPS time and infusion time, Geo infusion, right, to walk around and collect the shields. They just get sucked right in. Amazing. I think that's a beautiful touch. And on top of that, Hoyoverse is actually making use out of crystallize. That's also something that I don't see enough people talking about. So this is going to be tied into why I think Navia will likely have a happy ending. But firstly, let's talk more about her kit, right? So Navia seems to be like a semi-burst DPS unit with hints of off-field presence, which is amazing. Her Geo infusion elemental skill, along with her Geo elemental damage burst skill, makes it so that she's a character that you can use in a quick swap team, right? If you just want raw damage, or yes, you could play her in a mono Geo team. She could technically work. So Navia, just on paper, already seems to fit better than more traditional Geo characters, simply because of how she plays. Now, if you're asking me, Walrus, are reactions important in Genshin Impact? I'm gonna say, yeah, they're pretty damn important, right? Like, this game pretty much revolves around reactions. But mono Geo is one of the few ways to play the game without needing to give a damn about reactions. You can completely ignore the need for reactions and the complexity of forward reaction, backward reaction, right? Which element goes on first, and Geo can help you not give a damn. And Navia fits into that incredibly well. Now, let's talk about her downfall. Like, oh my god, a perfect character, right? No, not perfect character. Navia has her flaws. Being a Geo character that focuses so much on Geo infusion and Geo elemental damage, naturally she's going to have the problem that all Geo character has, is the lack of diversity and interaction with other characters, right? If you want Navia to feel powerful, likely you're going to need dedicated Geo characters, or at the very least, maybe certain Fontaine characters. She's not going to pair up very well with a lot of characters. She's not going to be one of those characters you pick up and feel like she's universally good in a lot of different teams. Firstly, she's a DPS character, right? Her role is to deal damage, and just that role in of itself means that she demands resource as opposed to she is the resource herself, right? Characters that are more supportive in their natures, like Zhongli, like Baizhu, like Kazuha, these characters give and give. They provide utility for the team. They help the team deal more damage. They help the team survive longer. Navia, by default, is somebody who wants to take. The best she could do is maybe become a secondary DPS, an alternative DPS, or maybe a quick swap team member that provides damage assistant. But for the most part, it seems like people are going to be playing her as an on-field main forward carry, right? And if you're gonna play her like that, not only is she very difficult to pair up with, she's also going to demand an immense amount of resource. Mono Geo team is one of the most expensive team comps you can create in the game, not only because you have to have high invested main on-field character, but also because you need to fulfill the supportive roles with a C6 support dedicated character. Now, is Mono Geo the most expensive team in the game? No, absolutely not, but they're by no means cheap. And the problem with Mono Geo investment is they can only service Mono Geo teams, right? If I spend a bunch of money into my Yelan, into my Raiden Shogun, into my Zhongli, right? Into these universally good support characters, I can swap them into many different teams. The problem with Geo investment is if you dump a bunch of investment into Geo, guess what? They're only going to help you in your Geo teams. And Geo releases a character once every year or once every year and a half, 2 years. Who knows how long? Like, I don't even know if Natlin's going to even have a Geo character, right? If Hoyoverse just wants to abandon Geo, and right now let me tell you, it's not looking pretty. Hoyoverse doesn't want to help Geo, doesn't want to give him a little facelift, a little help here and there. Guess what? Your investment into Geo is extremely limited. You very rarely will get to see it shine. It'll be using the same team for a year and a half, 2 years, maybe, right? So it's not guaranteed. That's the risk you're taking. But if Navia is your girl, then go ahead. I'm no one to tell you otherwise, just letting you guys know the risk. But why did I say in the beginning of the video that Navia probably will have a happy ending, right? Why did I say that? The reason being is, Hoyoverse, if you notice Navia's kit, is very carefully leaning into the crystallized reaction, right? You guys can see it. Crystallized shields that she collect will help boost her elemental skill damage. That's amazing. And I'm telling you guys right now, if Hoyoverse is leaning towards this aspect of her design, I promise you, well, maybe I shouldn't say I promise you, but I am willing to take a gamble to say that they likely will have plans for her to flourish sometime down the road. There will be other characters or maybe certain mechanics changes or certain reaction changes that will maybe lean more into Navia's current kit. So let's say if she comes out, she feels subpar. Don't worry, so did Yaimiko, so did Kokomi, and many other characters. Hoyoverse definitely has a tendency to release characters in subpar mode and then slowly work them into the meta through future character introductions. So no need to feel bad, no need to worry for Navia. I think she's gonna fit okay into the meta. She's not gonna really shine, but she's gonna feel okay, especially for people who have already invested into previous Geo supports. Nothing to worry about. And for people who are dedicated, who want to invest into her, feel free to do so. Get her weapon, or maybe get a couple constellations if you really like her. I do think that in the future, she will prove to be a decent investment, especially if Hoyoverse puts more focus into the crystallized reaction, because again, she can suck in the crystallized shields, which actually more people need to pay attention to this detail. Alright, that's all for this video. Remember, click the link in the description as well as the pinned comment to support my content here. And until next time, remember to stay safe. Peace, bye bye.